Come around, everyone, and listen to my tale. Once upon a time, the world ended. The end. What? These intros have to be short! Odin's Sphere. The game revolves around the Norse mythos, a tale about the end of the world coming and how certain characters are connected to it all, as a little girl in her attic reads about it. Play about 5 different characters, having to beat their story before moving on to the next. And this isn't a spoiler, because I figured out with the opening animation if you wait at the title screen, which shows them all, and what order you will play them in. The game starts out with Gwendolen, a Valkyrie, and one of the daughters of Odin. The story starts on the battlefield, Gwen finding her sister dying on the field. With her dying words, Gwen's sister hands her her spear. Gwen takes the weapon and goes into battle. Aha! I'm a powerful Valkyrie, warrior of the sky, with my skirt wings. How does this work? The game is a 2D fighter-based game. Each stage of a level circles around itself. The leveling system is quite odd, but works. There are 2 different leveling systems. There's the character level up, and the weapons leveling up, your cipher. The way you level up your character, their HP, is by eating. Yes, in this game you plant seeds during battle and they grow by the enemies that you kill. The light that comes from them, depending on the different enemy, will have your seed grow. They are called phosons. Each seed needs a certain amount, and you can gauge how many you will get in a battle with how many stars appear on the level map to each stage. Also, by growing fruit, you can later in the game take it to the Puga village, where chefs there will take recipes you find in the game and make better meals to level up faster with extra AP each, depending on what meals you make and what you have with you. I'll have this. Had to kill a whole army, and possibly some wildlife who got in my way, to get this little seasoning, but it was so worth it. To level your weapon up, instead of letting the phosons that come from the enemies go to the seed, you can absorb them yourself and level up your weapon, as well as gaining new attacks as you fill up the cipher's gauge up. So you have to balance out what you want to do during each stage, either work on your weapon or your HP. There's quite a bit of strategy that goes on. After finishing each stage, you get a ranking, which, depending on how well you did, will give you items, be it seeds, other foods, or money. You can also combine items to make potions. What you need for this is something called mandragoras. I think that's how it's pronounced. They are plants that hide underground. You have to walk around on the stage and hear the little noise that they make. Once you hear it, jump and the plant will come out. Then you have to attack it before you can gather it. Each one can become a different kind of potion, depending on how you've got the mixture called materials you have. What level it is also depends on it. You can raise the number of materials by putting in other items that won't change it. Confused yet? This is the game's alchemy. Don't worry, it'll start to make sense as you play the game. Yay! All of these items can do different things. Heal status effects, give you more power, and other stuff. You'll learn what you'll need to do to create the recipes for alchemy and potions that you'll find throughout the game. Each level has a boss at the end. And here's where I get into the only 2 real problems I have with the game. The first is, well, since your characters go over the same places, you end up fighting the same bosses most of the time. Not all the time, there are new bosses at times even in the same levels, but it can get a little annoying to fight the same boss. Especially if you just fought them from the last character just a moment ago. The other problem is, well, this. Yeah, frame rate issues. Some boss fights slow the game down badly. Now, it's not impossible to beat the bosses. I did it on hard mode, but it can be a problem. But that's really the only problems I have, and not every boss has this particular problem. Between each level, you'll get more of the story. You see different parts of the story through the character you are at the moment. So you'll connect the story all together by the end, if you're paying attention. I like the story a lot. Most of the characters are interesting, most likable, but some...
I have important information for you. Please take this. This ring is to Trell.
Good work, Gwendolyn. That man, I was right to tempt Oswald.
Tempt? What do you mean, Father?
He and I formed a pact. I would give you to him if he could slay the dragon Wagner. Obviously, he succeeded. The ring is a prize from that battle.
Hate Odin. He's such a jerk in this. I feel so bad for Gwen, since he gives not one bit about her. Well, there is one thing she has going for herself. Oh, yeah. Anyway. The game is really good and was a lot of fun. There are different endings depending on certain actions at the end of the game. The real ending was good and the extra endings are worth getting. I'm giving a huge recommendation to this fantastic fantasy game. So, what are you doing tonight?